Welcome back. So today I'm trying to build a better vertical bandsaw. I have a Portaband that's been very reliable for years, but I picked up this old Delta 4x6. It's one of the Asian import machines, but I thought this is a good basis for building a permanent vertical bandsaw, something that's hopefully a little quieter. So I've got it set up on my fixture table, basically stripped off the base and scrapped it, and did some basic measurements. CAD model, and that's what I'm showing here is just the quick 3D print before I had the parts laser cut. So we skip ahead a little bit into the future, and I'm laying it out. The laser cut parts came in from Send Cut Send. You can see the small table, and then the piece of 1-inch metal that I'm welding all the tabs to. So one of the plates needed a little adjustment. I'm slotting one of the holes out like less than a 1/16. I should have. It is what it is. It just needed a minor adjustment. So I got all the locations for all the tabs, center punched. Now I'm going to take it over and metal prep everything for welding, putting it up here on my baby fixture table, and just TIG welding all the brackets on, keep it nice and sanitary. The 1-inch base plate's excessive, but I just happen to have it on hand, and I thought this will make a nice stable base. I'll put some rubber feet on it to hopefully dampen some of the noise. A lot of this exercise really is just about keeping the noise down. I'd like something that's more pleasant to operate. You can see some of the mounting holes that I'm reusing the original pivot holes. Everything fit perfectly the first time. And then I'm reusing the original Delta motor. So this is the table. I had this black anodized from Send Cut Send, and then they don't offer counter boring service, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm counter boring the 2 holes for the mounting bolts. But this should make a nice table. I'm curious to see how not anodizing, electroplating. I'm curious to see how this holds up long term, but it looks nice, and it was a pretty modest added cost. So quickly, I bypassed the original switch in the motor just to direct wire it to a plug, and that's what I'm hooking up here. At this point, I haven't tested it yet, so I'm just hooking a plug up, and I'll grab the extension cord and we'll give it a test go. I jokingly said it was nice and quiet. The motor actually is quiet, but the blade is roached and the bearings all need replaced. Perfectly fine. I just wanted to see that the gearbox was good and everything. The main drive wheel bearings are fine. Just all of the smaller blade guide bearings are going to be replaced. So there's 6 of those. And then the blade itself. Interestingly, these particular rollers are with they're captured with a knurled pin. So drive those out, replace the bearings, drive the new ones in. They're all shielded bearings. I think they're a common like skateboard size. They were pretty inexpensive. I think a 10 pack was less than $8. Very crunchy. Didn't that Wilton vise just look lovely? I'm so happy with how that turned out. And now the new blade's going on. I'm getting pretty excited at this point. This will be the first time I've cut with it yeah, at all, honestly. The blade that came with the machine was completely broached. Perfectly fine. So the backstory on this, I bought this at an auction with one other item in the lot. I sold that item off. So this saw is basically a free saw. And now I'm into it for the cost of the bearings and some, laser cut parts and a blade. So at this point, my investment is very modest. As you can see, I'm running at the medium speed. And at this point, I thought, let's do a quick test. Grab some cold rolled bar stock, and this is pretty lackluster. So here's a comparison, not sped up on the Portaband. Yeah, quite a bit faster. It's pretty clear to see why the performance of the Portaband is so much higher. The blade speed is just that much faster. So I won't bore you with the spreadsheet because yes, I made a spreadsheet for this, but the Portaband is basically 2 times or a little more than 2 times faster. So a quick check, and I found that I could get a upsized pulley and a new belt for $25, I think. So it was worth doing a quick check. One, to see the performance difference, the sound differences, and then just if this motor has enough power to run at the higher speeds. So I need to work on a better tensioning device. This is pretty crude, just jamming a block in to put some tension on the belt. So there's still more work to do here, as well as putting some guarding on. But now I'm up to similar surface speed as the Portaband. And kind of as you'd expect, you double the speed and it got louder. So I'm kind of looking through just to see if there's anything like rattling or shaking that I can tighten up. The blade cover was actually shaking a little bit. I put a magnet on it just to dampen that a little bit out. So quick redo on the performance test. Yeah, we're at just shy of 11 seconds when I went through the piece of cold rolled. So we're approaching the Portaband performance. Oh no, this was a really fun project, and I think it's a little sobering, the reminder of just how good a Portaband's performance really is. This saw is going to be a fine fixture. I'm going to dial in the last few things, guarding, and get the switch permanently mounted. I'm happy I did it, and I was just really surprised, how fast I pushed in the blade speed on the Portaband. But that being said, that's it for this one.